Hey there, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more Surviving Mars. Below and Beyond, playing at maximum difficulty. Well, we're doing pretty well so far, if I'm being honest. We are having to resort, unfortunately, to the Death Dome strategy in order to siphon out all of our seniors, but for the most part, population's looking good. We're becoming self-sufficient on a few key resources, with the exception of electronics. Got enough food, got enough life support, we're making money, we have science, things are looking pretty good. But that all might change as of right about now. So I did manage to get in contact with the developers of the game, and I let them know the issue we were having with the natural disasters, and they said that's actually been a bug that's been reported for a bit, but they haven't been able to reproduce it. So I provided the save file for them, and they were able to find it and say, okay, we think we found the problem. Here is a beta patch for you, and you can now play the game, and it should work. So we might very well find that the game's difficulty is now properly going to crank up to 11. Maybe. I don't know for sure. Because, I mean, there's always a bit of a risk whenever you have patches and, reloaded save games and stuff. Sometimes things have to reset. Sometimes it just doesn't work in general. I don't know. I'm just hopeful. This is literally the best I can do. I am trying to actively make this a fair challenge that is worthy of watching. An army worthy of Mordor or something. I don't know. You get the idea. I want to win this. I want to win this fair and freaking square. We do have an extra dome down over here that I still have not renamed. We don't need it yet until we get to a point of having, I think it's 28 population. And then there's really not a whole lot for us to worry about. We do have more seniors, which unfortunately need to continue getting shoved off over here. And that population is still just not quite birthing as fast as I would like. We don't have, births are allowed. We don't have a rule here that says that they're not allowed to be birthed if they have a certain population or anything here, right? So, yeah. Well, the last person from the original crew is now ready to go to green pastures. Or rather, I think he's going down here to just pasture itself right now, but I mean, he's not long for this world, for this Martian world, so to speak. What buildings are not working? It's just the domes, and the research lab has nobody working it. Okay. Let's make sure someone gets reassigned over here properly. Now, we have had issues with some renegades now becoming a thing, but it is only 3, and I don't see any evidence that it's getting worse. So I don't think that I am wrong about the Rebel Yell. I don't think Rebel Yell is working against me here. I think that we did just have legitimately some low morale on a couple of characters, and as a result, they have become renegades. Renegades are highly unfortunate, mainly because, well, they don't really do their jobs. It's not that I don't think they ever work, it's just they have extremely low performance. I would really like to have the renegades work, like, kind of trivial jobs, like grocers and stuff. Not that I'm trying to, denigrate the importance of people working in grocery stores IRL, just like in this particular role. In this game, it's not quite as crucial, so I would like to, I would like to maybe have them go work there where it doesn't matter too much for my survival, and then we'll see what happens from there. I'm going to go ahead and scan a bit more over here, see if there's any anomalies, but for the most part, we've cleared out where I think there are a lot of freebies, so I'm not really expecting that we're going to get a whole lot more anomalies from here on out from the surface of the planet. Could happen, but from my testing, this is usually about as much as we can look forward to. There are some metals over here. It's kind of a trivial amount, but we'll go ahead and pick them up anyway, bring that all back like so. And it's going to be a little while before I have to worry much more, I think, about expanding another dome. We should be set for a while. Once we do get above 28 pops steady, and we do have some more births, by the way, so that's looking good. But we have a steady, at least 28 pops. We'll go ahead and tear this sucker down. We're going to be building out a bridge over here, set up this dome for actual habitable use. And then the green pastures over here will become our new death dome where the seniors just go to say goodbye. So that'll end up being very nice for me, but got, unfortunately, a fair bit of time before that's going to happen. How are we doing as far as our oxygen? I mean, yeah, we're draining right now, but, like, who cares? This is really not a big deal. We're looking fine. I think we're going to have to start making use of jump cuts because this is the point of the game where things can really drag. We've reached self-sufficiency. There's not a whole lot more that I need to do. And yet, we have to sit here and twiddle our thumbs for a very long time just continuing to manage what little we do have. That's kind of the only thing that I'm able to do. And yeah, by the way, we did get to a new day, and take a look at that. The Renegades number did not go up. If we were having to deal with Rebel Yell right now, we would be having 1 new Renegade per soul, per dome, with over 15 pops, until it gets to either 20 or 30% of their population. I can't really remember Which? End of an age. There goes the last one. All right. Barger Johansson has died from suffocation in the Death Dome. Rest in peace, my friend. That ends the phase of Earthbound. They are all gone. Also, wait, why is my power gone? Hello? We appear to have run out of power, and that's really unfortunate, but we're going to get that right back up. And that tells me I need to be getting some more power. Sure, yeah, no. Call the electric company. Let's go ahead and turn on the power. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And build this back up, because apparently we were struggling. I mean, if I have to, I can turn back on these polymer blades, but I really like to not keep doing that. Let's start off the fuel refinery since we have plenty. I don't need this running during the night. It'll save me some water, as well as a little bit of crucial power. How many more rare metals do we have? A fair bit to work with is the good news, so we could launch this sucker back if we wanted. Departing tourists, no. Were there any planetary anomalies I wanted to do? We could go for some new techs, but that is literally the only remaining option. So at this point, I say we go ahead and load this sucker up with some more exports and just send it back. There's really no reason to stick this rocket around any longer. Let's just go ahead and go home. Okay, there's the sustainable architecture, which is going to be very nice, reducing the amount of materials we need to keep our in-dome buildings maintained. So that saves me basically just electronics at this point, and since that's the only thing I'm really worried about, that's huge. Could learn how to make medium domes. Again, with Rebel Yell, I think you either need to have tiny domes where Rebel Yell is not a thing, or you need to have massive domes where the population builds up so quickly that you basically consider the Rebel Yell to be part of the death rate and just accept that they're going to be gone one per soul. Giant domes or tiny domes, nothing really in between. Medium can work. I mean, it's not like it's that big, but it's all right. We could work with it, but why? We're going to start working on the mega storage. I really don't know that I need this. This is a tech that I often get away with. It's just there's nothing else here that jumps out at me as something I could really benefit from right now. Drone hubs we don't need right now. Martian education I've got queued up, but until we get a little bit more sustained population, still isn't the highest of priorities. Microgravity medicine, spires in any kind, that does me no good. Fungi does me no good. We don't need drones. We don't need Sterlings, though we could build them. It just takes electronics to do. Factory amplification tech. Now, that I at least could see some use for if we get a lot more power. And maybe even deep scanning. But fusion isn't going to work for me unless we get a lot more population and or a breakthrough tech that makes it free to run. Patents for money, maybe. And then, yeah, things that just boost people up. So the only real thing to do is get techs that are marginally useful and or start getting techs I don't need in order to start unlocking new techs further down some specific trees that I might care about. That, at this point, I feel like is kind of my only real option. Did find another anomaly down over here, by the way, which is nice. So we get another 1,500 science, which boosts up that mega storage a little bit. I mean, you know, it's not a bad thing to have mega storage sitting around. I mean, mega storage can be quite nice. You know, you always want to have 2 or 3 times more water and oxygen than you think you're going to need, especially water, because oxygen's not usually too hard to come by. But we don't need it. I figure I'd like to unlock some new stuff down the engineering tree, you know what I mean? We did have to pull back some folks working in the research lab. I also am kind of tired of having people work some of these night shifts. As nice as it is, it's causing a lot of issues unless they're already workaholic. Which, I mean, we could try looking for some people who are already workaholic. We get extra performance during the night. Like, I'm not unaware of this fact. It's just a bit risky. Low morale, sanity breaks, and stuff like that, it ends up being a problem. And technically, we have a breakthrough where I would benefit from having all these stats being in the green. If we could find a way to consistently get the morale up nice and high, then we have a breakthrough tech that would actually boost up everyone's productivity by a pretty huge amount. But no, we're not quite there yet. All right, electronics still holding. We're not doing great on machine parts. We really need to get more people working over here, unfortunately. Yeah, that is going to be an issue for me. We have 4 people, production of 1.6 per soul. That at least is enough to overcome the 1.2 that we have to deal with right now. Up to 25 pops, still no seniors again. Okay, getting there little bit by little bit, but I'm not seeing enough children being birthed. Something we could do, if I don't plan on building anything over here anytime soon, and now that electronics are a little bit cheaper to come by, should we go ahead and place down a school? Yeah, we should. It's not that we have enough children to make this super duper worthwhile, but what children I do have, we should be trying to give some nice perks. so that at least they are a little bit more balanced as far as human beings. This does cost electronics in terms of maintenance, but again, we have a slight cost reduction, so we'll end up being okay. Let's go ahead and launch the Trailblazer back up to Earth, get some more money, bring back some electronics, and maybe even have enough left over that we can go for a juicy outsource. All right, we're at 28 pops with no seniors. It is time. Renegades, a Darwin nominee for a Darwin Award? Received a video message. If you don't want to see the people in this colony left without water, you'll do exactly as I say. First, I need a rocket, then blah, blah, blah. All right. The lifeless body of Kira Martian next to a pipe leak. Cause of death, the premature explosion of some poorly made explosion device. Oh, a death. Okay. So there's a leak. They successfully managed to cause a leak. That's great. Good for you. All right, that solves the immediate issue as far as actually demolishing their homes. Turns out we can afford to wait on that for the next birth. So cancel the destruction. It's gonna be fine, and it looks like our research lab needs to be... Okay, I thought maybe this got sabotaged, but it did not. We're fine. So yeah, let's go ahead and rebuild that, and there you go. Yeah, Renegades are terrible for a lot of reasons. I've never seen that event before, but obviously it does exist. Primarily what I see them do is occasionally blow some stuff up and or maybe steal some resources, which depending on what they steal can actually be really important. A breakthrough. That's something I want. New techs... Unknown for an RC transport. Okay, wait, hang on. Which one is this? Armstrong? Strange signals. This is that one again, isn't it? I don't like this one very much. It's usually worth doing anyway, but... Yeah, what we want is this. This is absolutely a top priority. So, rocket is about to arrive with a whole bunch of metals. Get some money. Thank you. Then we go ahead and buy a bunch of electronics. And come on home with 25 more, I guess. Sure. That'll have to do, unless I want to buy even more. Yeah, why not? 30. Boom. Launch. Bring them back home. We got plenty of fuel we're sitting on right now, so once it arrives, we can go for a new breakthrough and pray that for once in this dang game, it's useful! Well, that meteor storm ended up being a little bit boring, but it's over here. It's working. The question now is, am I going to have to contend with a cold wave soon? Or a great dust storm, or anything like that? Could be. Whoa. Cycling meteor. Oh, way down over here. We don't care. It's fine. Not in any danger. Unfortunately, it didn't leave behind any anomalies, which is kind of what would have been the most nice thing for it to do, but alas and alack, that did not. All right, fine. Yeah, if we have a cold wave, we have tried to build up a subsurface heater. We could possibly still make this work. A dust storm would be dangerous, but that's why we have wind turbines. We could always upgrade these for a bit of extra power if needed, though again, we'll be pushing it a little bit. I'm not seeing any sign of dust devils still being a thing, though. Those still seem surprisingly mute. Yeah, maybe don't get too excited with the fact that we had one natural disaster, you know? It's when we have a second natural disaster. That's when we know that we're in for a lot of trouble. There's the factory amplification tech done. I did outsource a small amount with the little bit of money that I did have available, with the hope that I could get that done a little faster, which is going to let me get an upgrade and hopefully free up some workers to go and work on other tasks instead. We've also unlocked deep metal extraction. Okay, so the two techs that follow deep scanning. Yeah, we probably should consider doing that at some point soon. Let's take a look at this amplify. So only a couple of polymers and then all this extra power, of which I am producing plenty. And as long as we don't have a night shift, we won't be draining a ridiculous amount of power during the night, so we should end up being okay. And there's the amplify. Now we're making 2.3 per soul. More than I need. We're gonna go ahead and pull one of those back so some people can go and work back at the rare metals extractor and the polymer factory, and now we are balanced back on our jobs and still making enough. We had a death in the colony. That was the senior. Don't worry about it. Nobody panic. That was exactly as intended. I mean, it's an unfortunate circumstance. You get the idea. Don't even worry about it. And the rocket has returned. We have our electronics. So the next thing to do is go for Project Savannah. We've fueled up. We're going to take 3 drones with me and waiting for payload to arrive. Do we not have... Oh. Right. Cancel. No, we just have to wait for the rest of these electronics to be unloaded. Hang on. We may not actually have enough storage space for electronics, which feels very weird, but that might be exactly what's going on. Let's go ahead and create a quick depot, and yeah, there we go. Now we can unload the remaining electronics. That was preventing me from doing a quick launch. And... whoosh! Okay. Here's hoping we get something good. Come on. Cross your fingers. You guys better be crossing those fingers. I swear, if you are not, then I will find you and I will punish you for this. We're actually up to too many pops over here in Luepki. Somebody's homeless and shouldn't be. Hang on. Let's take a quick look here at the ratio again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men. We need to find a woman. You'll do. Reassign. Doinkus. There we go. That's back down to 14 out of 14, or at least it should be in a moment. Okay. So we'll be fine on that front. Again, 15 is the magic number as far as I'm aware for Rebel Yell, so that's one of the reasons I want to keep people away from that if possible. Gene selection doubles the chance that a colonist will have or gains a rare trait. Such as what? Genius? Okay. I mean, yeah. It could be helpful. It feels like a very long-term investment, but it could be good. It says gains a trait. Are we talking just about traits at birth, or are we talking about traits that could be gained from, let's say, the school and eventually other things? I don't know. Regardless, it seems okay. I think we can tune down the storage compression at least a little bit and start prioritizing this instead. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about all that. This child has nowhere to live anymore. So that shouldn't be correct because this woman... Hang on. This woman should have reassigned herself right here. Okay. Why is she not going anywhere? Is she a renegade? This one's a renegade. Fine. Anyone else? You. Go live here. Someone freaking move. There we go. And now the child can be assigned here, and we don't have homelessness. It's important to deal with that, because homelessness does greatly reduce your birth rate. So we want to get rid of that as quick as we can. Let's see. I still don't feel like I need to go for any more jobs anywhere aside from research. So we're going to go ahead and toss an extra person in there. That boosts me up a little bit more. It's not a lot, but it's something. Let's go ahead and land the rocket, then we'll pick up the next round of rare metals and head on back to Earth. Okay, go ahead and allow for some exports. And that does take up a lot of fuel, but I don't mind it. In this case, it's well worth it. Is there anything else here that I think I really need to get? I don't have any medics. I don't know if I want to do that. New techs, no. See, it's just not worth sending 9 people into space for me. Generally speaking, that feels kind of risky, when I kind of need all my people back here at home doing their work. So yeah, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and continue focusing on getting money and resources. Money and resources. It's the only thing that matters in this life. Okay, now we've officially hit 29 pops. All right, so this is where we now have to do some very rapid construction projects, which is going to make a lot of people very unhappy, but it's going to be fine. Let's go ahead and open up all of these living quarters so that some people at least are going to have a few homes, and it reduces homelessness for a moment. Take care of that. Then let's see. We wanted to place down... Whoops. Okay, it would help if I hit the right buttons now, wouldn't it? Homes, we need to go for the regular living quarters. We could always upgrade these to smart homes at a later date if we wanted to, but I'll be honest, I don't think that I want to. Get those built up, and then for the domes itself, let's build a passage that goes like this. And we're going to need to change up our filters to make sure that seniors are not going here. Instead, they are going to go else to the other green pastures. Also, children really shouldn't be over here because I need them to be going to school. So we'll turn you back on and say seniors are welcome here and no one else. There we go. That should work. Turn on the building. It's acting as if it's not open. It should be fine. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. Just go ahead and build out the homes quick, please. Lots of homes, nice and quick. Big construction projects. Go, 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 go. Everyone go. There's a lot of homeless people. They're very upset. Come on, hurry up. Okay, crisis should now be averted. It says we have a couple of homeless people, but that should not be the case for much longer. Go ahead and reassign there. Reassign you over here. Okay, and then we had, I think, one person who moved over here for some reason. Let's go ahead and reassign you. I still want to have people primarily living in Odarka as much as possible, since that is where the comfort rating is going to be the highest. But that should be, once again, back to 14 pops. So where's the 15th? We've only got space for 14. Somebody here should be homeless. The infirmary, by the way, needs to be a top priority job at all times. That's kind of just a given. I don't know why somebody's not over here. This is open. Why is somebody not moving over here? There must be some sort of a filter that is causing an issue. Possibly. Hang on. I'm not too sure where the 15th person is and why they're causing issues. Good Lord! That dust storm came right into my power and messed that up. Fun fact, I actually don't need this power cable anymore, so we'll go ahead and get rid of it instead. That seems like the much better solution to the problem, but alright. Anyway, yeah, so we have a 15th person over here, and I'm not too sure why, but they should automatically reassign themselves at some point. By the way, I did rename this to Lemon Soup, who is another patron who won the poll, so thank you very much for your support. Much appreciated, as always. Alright, so everything's going according to plan. We still have consistent, steady population growth. Much faster than our death rate. This is very, very good. We're hanging in there. Not too much trouble. Working on that gene selection so that in the long run, we're only going to come out of this stronger. In theory. All right, gene selection is done. I have no idea if this is going to make much of a difference anytime soon. It may or it may not. All right, so the new Green Pastures Dome is apparently working exactly as intended. That's good. And now, once again, we sit back and wait for some children to be born. And or for us to eventually run out of resources. Let's keep in mind, if I ever run out of these underground rare metals and I'm unable to get more money and stuff as a lifeline back from Earth with electronics, we could find ourselves in a pretty sticky situation. That is the area where maybe placing down a small, and at least for now, small, electronics factory could make some sense. It does take a lot of electronics to build this up front, and I don't quite have enough spare workers that I think this is a great deal. But it is a heck of a lot cheaper, I think, to make my own electronics as opposed to buying them from Earth. In other words, we'll make more dollar value from simply taking the rare metals and making my own electronics rather than selling them and buying them.
Sector scan.
So this could be worth doing. Small electronics factory, huh? Yeah, I do think that this is something we should definitely consider building. Let's go ahead and do exactly that, I think. Yep. Go ahead and build one of those suckers up. And once we get enough extra population available, we'll be fine. This child is, alas, homeless. We will need to reassign somebody else, let's say, over there to this dome. We're going to start running into issues where not enough people are going to be able to start working in all these jobs. Like, because of the rare metals extractor, too many people all need to live within this dome in order to do their jobs. We could micromanage that a little bit, and it might help. Not sure we need to do it right now, though. 0.1 per soul? Really? 0.1 per soul is all I'm getting? Thanks, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that is highly underwhelming. Highly underwhelming as from a production standpoint, but okay. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves some more power situated over here. 20 is all we should need as long as we don't do a night shift once this Amplify is up and running, so we won't drain excess power during the night. And even a 25% boost is at least up to 0.4 per person, so, you know, it's not a lot, but considering I'm only using up about 0.6 to 0.8 per day, if we can have one more person reach adulthood and is going to be working in the electronics factory, then hey, that does solve some problems as far as self-sufficiency. And then I can take my excess rare metals, if we have any, and just make raw profit. I like that idea. I also like the idea of doing some more outsourcing, because I would like to finish up some more techs, like the Martian-born adaptability. Since we do have the gene selection, maybe this will help bring that out, their innate characteristics. Or something along those lines, heck if I know. Is there anything under robotics I feel like I really need? Probably not. Is there anything under social I could really need? I don't think so. We'll finish up storage compression, then we should go ahead and backtrack to some cheap techs. And just basically try to finish out, or at least expose more of this tree, because right now, I mean, none of these jump out to me as super important, so we might as well just knock out the cheap techs, unlock new things, and see if anything better becomes available. 30 colonists now. Man, we're really having to work for this, aren't we? I do think we're going to go ahead and do Project Armstrong, as annoying as it sometimes can be. We'll gather up these metals, and then we'll go ahead and do that. Remember, you can't launch the rocket if you do have one of your RCs already on a task, which is what's happening right about now. There we go. That should finish up all those metals, so we'll go ahead and drop those all off, and then we'll launch it. If this is what I'm thinking of, this is basically where you discover the black site, and if you don't handle it correctly, bad things can happen. Generally speaking, in my experience, bad things will happen regardless. It's just a question of which bad path you prefer to deal with, you know what I mean? 31 pops, if you exclude the senior, by the way. Okay, we're getting there. And of course, I mean, growth should be exponential. The more people that we have of a fertile age, the more we should be getting. All right, Project Armstrong. Here goes nothing. Launch it. Please don't be bad. Okay, let's see. Whoa, this is actually not what I thought it would be. Wait a minute, what? Hang on. We discovered the crashed remains of another expedition. Ill-prepared expedition team. To this location, equipment failed and never managed to return to their home. We've identified the remains. Bury them and then get 5 drone prefabs, or all colonists get 20 morale for 10 souls. I don't care that much about morale. 5,000 science is amazing. Why does this feel like a trap? We're gonna try it. Gain 5,000 science is obviously pretty huge. Doink. So that almost finishes up the storage compression, which without even having to build any large containers is going to greatly increase the amount of water and oxygen I will be able to contain. It's just in this game, for some reason, the devs have this sick sense of humor where if something good happens, it usually means something bad actually has happened and you haven't figured it out yet. That's been my experience up to this point. At least there's a storage compression done. Arcology, again with spires. Spires do me absolutely zero good at this point. Let's go ahead and research how to make those drone hubs in case I do feel like at some point being able to, I don't know, not rely on my drone commander in order to operate a water extractor. That'll be a thing. As far as water, yeah, we can definitely fit a fair bit more, but like not that much. We're okay. Let's go ahead and land the rocket once again. Unless we want to do another planetary anomaly, we should go ahead and head back home. Let's see. No, no, and no, and no. All 4 things I don't want to do. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and make use of those rare metals. I have a couple people working over in the small electronics factory. Technically now we should be making all resources, and I actually mean all resources, more than we consume. We've officially hit the point where we should be completely, totally, 100% self-sufficient on all things. Until we run out of base materials like metals on the surface, or underground rare metals, or concrete, or water, which, by the way, will be happening relatively soon, and we're going to wish that we had a lot more moisture vaporators in order to make that work. So that's something we'll want to go ahead and prioritize with some of my extra cash. Regardless, progress is progress. I'm happy with it. Feels pretty good. Let's look for more stuff I can scavenge. Okay, that takes care of drone hubs. Jumper shuttles. I've already got a prefab for this. We could, by the way, make use of that. Don't get me wrong. Like, we could totally do this. Shuttles are great as far as delivering colonists and also picking up resources and delivering them to areas pretty effectively. Like, I really do like them, but they're very expensive to maintain from a resource perspective as far as maintenance. I think they take electronics, and also they tend to consume a lot of fuel. At this stage of the game, when we're already very compact, this doesn't do me a whole lot of good. So, yeah, that's all basically completely useless to me. Ugh. Useless! I'm gonna go ahead and buy, I think, 3 moisture vaporators. We're gonna end up needing all 3 of them at some point, and if we don't buy them now, they're just gonna become more expensive later. Yeah, that uses up all my valuable money, I'm aware, but this is just kind of the way things are gonna go. There's the Martian education tech. This unlocks better security officers and medics, if only I had a use for that right now. Now we're working on that low-G fungi, which should go pretty quick. I'll go ahead and do the artificial muscles breakthrough tech, which at least will let our drones be a little bit faster and more effective. I mean, we can do probes, I suppose. I mean, it's a pretty darn cheap and easy tech just to see if there's anything else that's better, but yeah. Man. I'm definitely worried about water in the long term. I can see ourselves running out of this very quickly without, like, any warning. If we're not paying attention, that comes back to bite me. But with 3 moisture vaporators that are being upgraded, that'll translate into, I think, an extra 4.5 water, which is almost as good as the 5 water we are getting out of the water extractor right now. So it almost brings us back up to par with where we need to be, and from there we just need to pull back on how much fuel we're making and stuff like that. Could, by the way, boost this up even further if we wanted to. I mean, the cost of extra power, that's not a big deal as long as these things are only running the day. Like, that's fine. But do I need extra power production? Probably not. Extra polymer production, on the other hand, yeah, I do see that as being somewhat useful at least. So let's go ahead and get some more power. Like so. And it says this is an unexplored area. Is that actually true? Oh yeah, sure enough. Well, let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Then we can finish scanning the rest of the dang planet. That's the low G fungi out of the way. What do we get here? Okay, rejuvenation treatment's actually nice. Improve service comfort and provide relaxation, getting extra comfort out of the infirmary. At 10,000 science, that's a bit steep, given that I think I only make something on the order of like 700, 800 science per day. Nonetheless, that is absolutely an upgrade for me and will lead to even better birth rates, I do believe. We'll get that probably after the artificial muscles. It's just going to be a little bit boring because, I mean, yeah, it takes a very long time to get any of that. If we had more money, that'd be great, but I don't. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, we're making good progress. Now, I'm a little bit wary that I still only saw one meteor storm, so I'm going to contact the devs again, just let them know and make sure that they are, that I am correct, that this save file should be working. We got one. That's better than we have been for the past 4 episodes. And maybe another one's right around the corner. Who knows? We'll find out. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.